We got Ron Paul. I notice a lot of people on Reddit lately have been touting Ron Paul. They say Obama will not veto the National Defense Authorization Act. Listen, some of Ron Paul's views might be crazy, but he may be our only hope. Now, I'd like to point out that Ron Paul wants to end abortion rights. On his very own website, it says, as a physician, Ron Paul consistently put his beliefs into practice and saved lives by helping women seek options other than abortion, including adoption. And as president, Ron Paul will continue to fight for the same pro-life solutions he has upheld in Congress, including immediately saving lives by effectively repealing Roe v. Wade and preventing activist judges from interfering with state decisions on life by removing abortion from federal court jurisdiction through legislation modeled after his We the People Act. Defining life as beginning at conception by passing a Sanctity of Life Act. Did you guys catch the part about effectively repealing Roe v. Wade, or how Ron Paul wants to remove abortion from the federal court jurisdiction? That would leave abortion up to the individual states, which would be stupid, but he wouldn't stop there. He wants to pass a Sanctity of Life Act, which federally mandates that life begins at conception. What that means is that it really doesn't matter if a state wants to allow abortion. They won't be able to because fetuses will be protected as full-fledged U.S. citizens. All because Ron Paul has the dumbass notion in his head that you're a human being the moment the jizz hits the egg. Now, Ron Paul has some crazy economic views, too. He believes in the gold standard. What is the gold standard, and why is Ron Paul obsessed with it? The gold standard is when every dollar does not derive its value from our perception of its value. It instead derives its value from gold. And how does gold derive its value? Well, from our perception of its value. Basically, the gold standard tethers our currency to a finite resource. My problem is that it might as well be the fucking zinc standard or the orange juice standard. There's nothing inherently special about gold, other than it was an early form of currency. It was used to symbolize real wealth, just like paper money is today. The value of money, whether it's made of paper or gold or paper backed by gold, is that it can purchase goods and services. That's what money is. It's something that can purchase goods and services. It doesn't matter if it's gold or baloney. Ron Paul wants to remove social safety nets. He believes that Medicare is unconstitutional. He believes that Social Security is unconstitutional. If you actually look at the Constitution, it gives Congress the power to lay and collect taxes and to provide for the general welfare of the United States, which is exactly what Social Security and Medicare do. And you can argue against the programs themselves, but it's pretty dumb to argue against their constitutionality, at least in my opinion. On Social Security, Ron Paul believes that Americans should be able to opt out of the system if they so choose. That's all well and good, except Social Security pretty much requires that a larger number of people pay in than will ever actually receive benefits, because the program exists for those who reach retirement age and have no money. Those who have money shouldn't be allowed to use it, and we should raise the retirement age to reflect increased human lifespans. So it does need reform, but elimination? He opposes Medicare and Medicaid entirely because he views them as socialism. He wants to keep old people on them, but us young people, we're just fucked. We don't get that shit. He opposes common sense FDA regulations. I'm going to give you an example of this. He went to bat for the people who want to drink raw milk. That's to say people who don't want their milk pasteurized. And the sale of raw milk has been banned by the FDA because it can contain deadly bacteria such as Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria. Now, personally, if some dumb fuck wants to drink that shit, I say let them buy their own fucking cow. They can drink it at their own risk. I have no problem with that. They can choose what they want to put in their own bodies. But I don't want something like that in the supermarket. I don't want it because it poses a danger to me. What if I go to a restaurant where the owner is some anti-pasteurization fucking psycho and I get E. coli? What if I eat a bowl of cereal at a friend's house and it turns out that he's one of these psycho morons and I fucking get salmonella? What about all the people who are stupid and don't know what they're buying? This FDA ban makes sense for the same reason that I don't think the makers of rat poison should be able to make their product resemble Flintstones' fucking vitamins. But to Ron Paul, the FDA are a bunch of fascists. Whatever. Ron Paul believes that your state government should be allowed to regulate your sexuality. Yeah, I'm not making that up. Ron Paul personally opposes sodomy laws, but thinks that states have the right to make them. Here's his own words on the matter. There is clearly no right to privacy nor sodomy found anywhere in the Constitution. There are, however, states' rights, rights plainly affirmed in the 9th and 10th Amendments. Under those amendments, the state of Texas has the right to decide for itself how to regulate social matters like sex, using its own local standards. So if you're gay and you live in Texas or Mississippi or something like that, Ron Paul feels like your state should be able to tell you, hey, no, you're not allowed to stick cock in your butt. Why? Why should your state have the right to do that? Because according to Ron Paul, that's what the Constitution says. There's no debate. Our state governments now have jurisdiction over our bedrooms. That's your libertarian? That's your pro-freedom candidate?